I've always wondered why many older pastors I met were so cordially aloof or distant. And after pastoring for 22 years, I understand why. With every disappointment ending to a relationship that you thought would last longer, you discover that resentment begins to settle where there used to be a relationship. Have y'all ever been disappointed by people? Has there ever been someone that was supposed to love you that neglected to give you the love that you gave them? When you begin this life, the first people that are supposed to love us unconditionally are your parents. Can I teach you for a minute? The first example of who God is supposed to be your daddy and your mama. There are 10 emotional needs. Wilson, I need y'all to come roll my stand out here in the front. There are 10 emotional needs that every child needs to be fully developed and emotionally healthy. Are you following me so far? How many needs are there for children to be developed? 10 emotional needs. And your dad and your mom are supposed to pour into you equally in every area of your life. These 10 jars represent all of the things that are supposed to be poured into. Acceptance. A child needs to know that they are accepted, that they're loved unconditionally. I love you just as you are. Look at your neighbor and say, you are enough. Affection. You need your daddy and your mama to love on you, right? You need that in your life. You need somebody that can pour in. Your daddy needs to tell you, son, I love you. Daughter, you are beautiful. And you feel accepted, right? You need affection for your mama to kiss you at night when she tucks you in the bed. Or your daddy to pick you up when you got a boo-boo on your knee. You need that, right? You need attention for them to see you. Look at your neighbor and say, I see you. And the reason a lot of people act out is because nobody has ever stopped to look at them. So when my daddy sees me and my mama sees me, I ain't got to act out. I need affirmation. You are smart. You are kind. You are intelligent. I need mama. Mama used to tell me all the time. I used to come home crying, Mama, they picking on me. I got a big old head. She said, baby, you're going to grow into your head. It just means you're smarter. I wanted to hear my daddy say it, but because he couldn't, because he didn't have the capacity, I brought him my report card one time. I had all A's and B's and a C. He said, could have got, that C could have been a B. So I didn't get that from him. Security. Do you have food? Is the lights on? Do we have somewhere to stay this week? If I didn't get that as a child, I grew up with this feeling of instability because I never had security. Are y'all listening to me? Comfort. When it's storming outside and you run into your parents' bedroom and jump in their bed. But what if your mama's out on the streets and you left at home with the storm by yourself? Support. They're there for your ball games. They're there for your meetings. Every ball game I had, my mama was there and I appreciate it. But when I looked up and I didn't see my daddy, and I went to a PWI school, and all the little white boys' daddies there said, Johnny, you did good. Larry, you did good. And I'm walking out with no hand on my shoulder. Encouragement. You can do it. You got this. Appreciation. Respect. All of these cups need to be poured into. But what happens when you don't have a parent to pour into you? I got to make this plain. I'll be 55 this year, and I like to learn about my mom and dad's upbringing and try to do an autopsy of what happened to their relationship. And my mom helped me. I said, Mama, who poured into you when you were a child? She said, nobody. Listen to me. My mom's a nurse. And this is the first time she told me why she became a nurse. She said when they were strapping my mother down to the bed in the mental hospital, and she was fighting them, and I was a little girl, she says, I want to become a nurse so I can figure out what's wrong with my mama. Her daddy left when she was a little girl. She had to go stay with her grandparents who were socialized post-slavery and really didn't know how to show affection. And her grandmother was very stern and her grandfather very stingy. She had no one to pour into her. My daddy was the same way. His mother was in the streets. His father was in the streets. He had nobody to pour into him. So two empty people get together and have a child. Y'all not talking to me. And the definition of codependency is two empty people trying to pour into each other.